Soybean producers from Georgia and Florida recently held their annual expo at the Georgia Agricenter in Perry. While bean production was down in 2011, optimism remains high for the upcoming season. Damon Jones takes a look at the expo and what was discussed.
Whether it was the weather patterns or the kudzu bug, everything soybean was discussed at the annual Georgia-Florida Soybean Expo in Perry. It was a chance for producers to get a much-needed update on the industry.
Farming's always changing. There's always something different that needs to be done, and everybody's wanting to increase yields, which increase profits. So any information they can gain here will help increase profits on the farm.
And that's what Arkansas professor Larry Purcell was trying to do as he discussed ways to maximize production through genetics, nutrition, and of course, management.
One of the things that we think is really important in the area that we're producing soybean in is matching up the optimum soybean maturity group with the conditions that are there in your part of production.
And while many new ideas were discussed, there's no one answer for increasing yields. It ultimately comes down to a case-by-case basis.
I'm not sure the kind of production practices that we talked about here, kind of the theoretical maximum yield, are something that everybody needs to be looking to do. They need to find out what's sustainable for their farm and economical for their farm. A lot of the practices that go into kind of maximum or theoretical production are not sustainable on a long-term basis and may not be economical on a long-term basis.
Another factor that goes into profits is the price. And while a number of factors are keeping prices down right now, the future does remain bright.
Right now, the economy and the world market, world production is weighing a little bit heavy on the soybean market in terms of price. So, right now, the future for 2012 outlook is kind of not quite as good as 2011, but still probably relatively good prices overall.
And that might promote more acres in soybean, which took a hit in 2011 as Georgia saw a more than 40% drop in acres and 50% drop in production. It's a trend that should make a shift in the other direction.
Yeah, last year cotton was the driver in acreage decisions, and several acres of soybeans ended up getting planted in cotton last year. So some of those acres might come back to soybeans because cotton prices are down over a year ago.
I'm optimistic about the soybean crop this year. It was down last year because the drought and a lot of production went to corn and cotton. This year a lot of wheat acres have been planted, and I think a lot of people will double crop their soybeans behind the wheat. So I think soybeans production will go up some this year.
For the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm Damon Jones.